You're in for a treat today because we're going to make something that I really like. It's called Crustless Cranberry Pie. Doesn't really qualify as a bread, but it's baking, so it works. This recipe is really fun, but the thing about it is you really have to have seasonal cranberries, fresh cranberries, which are hard to get once you get out of the Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays. So it's something that really works in the fall when you can get fresh cranberries. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some flour. That's a cup. Take some sugar. That's a cup. And we have some salt. I believe that was a 1/4 teaspoon. And take those dry ingredients, mix those first, and then we're going to toss in the cranberries. And we have, the recipe actually calls for walnuts, but I've decided that it tastes a lot better with almonds. So we're going to use almonds in this recipe. Okay. We have I believe it's a 1/2 cup of the almonds, 2 cups of cranberries, and I like to make sure that you kind of float them in a bowl of water first and kind of sort out any that have gone bad on you, or at least soft, or my mother always used to say, if they don't float, they're no good. So sort through your cranberries to make sure you have all firm, good-looking cranberries in there. Okay. Obviously, all we're doing at this point is really just coating. Oop, there we go. Our preheated oven. We preheated that at 350. All right, we coated these. Now we're going to add, we have 2 eggs that have been beaten. We have a stick of butter that's been melted. That's 8 tablespoons. I don't know, it's just me, but I'm always concerned about getting melted butter that's too hot dumped into my egg mixture and thereby accidentally cooking a little of it, but I don't really think that happened. And the last part of your flavoring is a teaspoon of almond extract. Okay, so we're going to get this mixture completely blended. And once we do that, we have one other step to go, which is the streusel toppings. Now, you don't have to put the streusel topping on, but come on, it's really good when you do. Okay, so there we have the basic batter. Our streusel topping, this is probably the most work you're going to have to do. The streusel topping is brown sugar, flour, which by itself isn't that bad, but you're going to work in 2 tablespoons of butter. You want this to be out of the refrigerator cold. I'm going to use a pastry knife to blend that in. Actually, I saw something strange where somebody took a grater and grated their butter into flakes. I don't know about that, but we can get it started by just using a knife to break it up a little bit. Okay. And we have some almonds to go in there too. So now that we've made a whole bunch of dirty dishes, we'll work on our streusel. Now I've tried this just using a fork to work it in, but that, to me, that just took too long. So, however you like to incorporate your butter into your flour and works for you, that's fine. This one seemed to work for me. Alright, we'll probably cut away in just a moment once I have this a little further along. You'll see that it takes a little bit of work, but eventually you get to where your butter, sugar, flour are incorporated into a crumble that'll work for the streusel. It's kind of what you want. You don't really want it to look like it's just a bunch of sugar and flour. You want that integrated with the butter. Okay, almost but not quite a dough. Okay, let's assemble this. We're going to get our pan. Whoops. We're going to get our pan, which in this case is a cast iron pan. It was sitting on top of the stove, so it was greased and it's slightly warm. Wouldn't have to be, but that's good. All right, now our dough kind of stiffened up on us. Now, obviously, we want to get this to fill the pan. For some reason, it's rather stiff dough tonight. Okay, and then we're going to sprinkle the streusel topping on top. Our oven has been preheated, 350, and we're going to put it in there and bake for 40 minutes. Although sometimes I've had to go a little bit longer. If you've done any kind of cake baking, you know that usually you've got to put a toothpick in the center to see if it comes out clean or dry. This mixture with all the cranberries in there, I find it's kind of hard to tell if it's entirely done in the center. With a toothpick coming out dry, it won't. It'll be wet, but you don't want it to be all doughy on the toothpick. That would indicate you've got a lot of raw dough. Alright, looking good. This is going to go on in 40 minutes. We'll be back with you when it's done. It's been 40 minutes. Looks like it's ready to me. Tried my toothpick. We'll try it again. Of course it went through. I'm not pulling out any wet dough, so she should be good. Plus, it's sitting in my cast iron pan here, so that's going to continue to kind of heat it up a little bit. Have something really good for dessert. I just happen to have some maple vanilla whipped cream. Although ice cream would be good too. So there we have it. Crustless cranberry pie. I love it.